Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Action Sunday, episode 199. I'm this close to my 200th episode. But of course, as you know, next weekend I'm going to be taking off. That way I can finally put this poll to rest and figure out which one of those two Schwarzenegger movies I will review. So polls will still be open until then. So for now, keep voting. It's still an even split, folks. So yeah. Anyway, let's get on to today's review. And of course, this one is even special than my 200th because as of this recording, by the time this recording drops, the movie I'm reviewing will be celebrating its 35th anniversary, and that is RoboCop. Literally, this is rare, where I'm reviewing a movie on the day of its release, on 35 years later. That is something which never happens in the history of Action Sunday. So yeah, so two special episodes in a row. So yeah, we'll see where this goes. But anyway, what can I say? Let's look back at RoboCop. Okay, the first one that came out in 1987. Literally, like I said, around this time. It's a I guess you could call this a summer blockbuster. Of course it was. It was a financial success. According to I looked into, this racked in like $53 million, over $53 million. To me, that's a success. If it can rack in that much money in the course of one summer, to me it's a commercial success, which of course would spawn almost everything. You know, spin-offs. You got comics, you got merchandise, all that. But which of course makes me scratch my head. I'm like, you got all this for a super violent, ultra violent movie about a cop in the dystopian future of Detroit, USA. Yeah. What do you think about that? Of course, a couple interesting little tidbits about RoboCop. I don't know if anybody you know. Because of its violent content, this movie almost got the dread NC-17 rating. That's how close it was. So they had me big. If you cuts, they had dull some things down. Another interesting thing is the RoboCop suit that Peter Weller wears. Apparently, it was so hot in the suit that literally all the scenes that you see him driving, he's actually wearing part of the suit from a waist up. He's just sitting there practically in his boxers. It's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's like, okay, how do they pull that off? Because every time when he steps out of the machine, you see his legs first. Well, you know, it's called a thing called trickery and whatnot in the old Hollywood sense. So yeah, there you go. Not much else I can think of when it comes to interesting facts. Let's see. Another thing is, like, Paul Verhoeven, originally turned down the script twice because he didn't quite understand the whole purpose behind the story, that's satirical stuff. And unfortunately, his wife finally got to him and said, "I think you should make it." Of course, there's a lot of good and a lot of bad themes that you could pull from the story. But overall, I really enjoyed this, even though some of it's ultra violent content. I really like this idea of this dystopian future, but of course with a project saying, hey, let's do something we've never done. Let's create a RoboCop, you know, robotic cop, you know, used from from the cadaver of a police cop. And that was one of the ideas of one of the executives, Morton, played by Miguel Ferrer. I bet you guys didn't know and forgot he was in this movie. That's another thing that I forgot about RoboCop, is like the star power in this movie is just ridiculous. Besides Peter Weller, who around this time I wasn't from, obviously he was virtually unknown, but Agent Lewis, or Officer Lewis, as we call her, played by Nancy Allen. Allen, believe it or not, she got a little fame starring a little another horror movie. If you guys call it, I believe it was called Carrie. Then you got Ronnie Cox as Dick Jones, the owner of the Army Corporation. You got Kurtwood Smith, yes, as Boddicker. And of course, I was like, wow, didn't expect that. And of course, I've seen this movie many times before, but I forgot how much star power there is just on the surface level. But as the movie goes on, you just start to fall, and you just start to be like, oh wow, this is something. Now, I'm going to admit one thing, is that when I first saw this, there are a couple of things turned me off. One, the scary like tone of the movie, but you know, like it was a little depressing, a little scary, a little far off. But as the movie goes on, I felt like the tone kind of changes a little bit. Another thing kind of put me off it wasn't the overtop violence. It was just something else. It's like I think there was some visual effects have not aged, and it shows. For instance, there's some stop motion animation in some points in the movie, especially the killer robot, and the EDO in 209, that big giant ETST ripoff. Which, by the way, it does sound a lot like, if you listen real closely, as the same kind of sound effects of it moving and whatnot. Then, of course, the thing just malfunctions, kills the corporate executive, in that boardroom scene. But and then there's I don't want to give much away for anybody that has never seen RoboCop. And of course, I'm talking about the '87 one. Okay, if you're gonna go for the modern one, avoid it. Okay, I've seen that one and I didn't like it. Not one bit. The only reason why I think people love the new one is because, Samuel L. Jackson's in it and Gary Oldman's in it. But of course, here's the thing: Samuel L. Jackson's character is in the movie grand total of maybe 6 minutes, because he's not a major character. He's just a guy. He's just a news anchor that just freaking loses it. He calls, "Why are we so robophobic?" kind of thing. That's the only thing that would get out of the RoboCop remake. But as for the original, like I said, other things have not aged. But story-wise, to me it's good. It goes from here's what we got. We got crime in Detroit. Alex Murphy and Officer Lewis. Okay, they're gonna try to bring in this gang, Bogger's gang, and of course things go wrong. Oh shit! Wait, he's dead. Wait a minute, no, or is he not? Here we go. We watch the transformation. Executive Morton, Miguel Ferrer, says, I want to incorporate this idea. And everyone says, well, let's go with it. Here we go. RoboCop is born. He has been reanimated from the dead. Alex Murphy is, but of course, his partner doesn't realize that. There's a lot of intricacies with the story, and there are good characters. And I really enjoyed it more often than its sequels or its remake. And of course, I understand there is another RoboCop movie in the works. That, believe it or not, will actually omit all the sequels. This was like will be a true sequel. But another thing that has me thinking is Pierre Weller going to return as maybe a cameo, but maybe not as RoboCop, or is it still going to be RoboCop, but he hasn't aged? I have no idea what the hell they're going to go with the story, but who knows? We'll see what happens when that RoboCop sequel comes out, whenever it may be. But overall, looking back at RoboCop, I feel like, wow, there's a lot of things that are a little on the nose, like, oh shit, I would say in hindsight, it's like you didn't expect, especially when it comes to the city of Detroit, where, as you know, I think it was like the late 2000s, all of a sudden they're like, Detroit kind of filed for bankruptcy. Of course, that's a little, little on the nose there, but everything else, I think, really works together. Characters are there, the story's perfect, the visuals have not aged well. So, yeah, take that with a grain of sand. But, yeah, everything else I really enjoyed about that. And looking back at it, to me, I feel like it still holds up, okay? I really think you guys should go back and give RoboCop a watch. Even on its 35th anniversary, 35 years later, it really does hold up. As for its sequels, maybe that's a story for another day, all right? So with that in mind, I'm going to give RoboCop 1987, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10, okay? That's what I'm going to give it. And yes, like I said, some things will hold up. Maybe you'll fall in love with it. We'll see what happens with this. Only time will tell with the upcoming sequel. That does for today. Let me know what you think on this video. Subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for some more awesome and exciting videos. And I'll see you on my 200th episode.